The Testimony of the Suns by George Sterling. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. The Testimony of the Suns. To whom the unceasing suns belong, and cause is one with consequence, to whose divine inclusive sense the moan is blended with the song. Ambrose Bierce. 1. The winter sunset fronts the north, the light deserts the quiet sky. From their far gates how silently the stars of evening tremble forth. Time, to thy sight what peace they share on night's inviolable breast, remote in solitudes of rest, afar from human change or care. Eternity, unto thine eyes in war's unrest their legions surge, foam of the cosmic tides that urge the battle of contending skies. The war, whose waves of onslaught met where night's abysses storm afar, break on the high tremendous bar athwart that central ocean set. From seas whose cyclic ebb and sweep, unseen to life's oblivious hours, are ostent of the changeless powers that hold dominion of the deep. O armies of eternal night, how flame your guidance on the dark! Silent we turn from time to hark what final orders sway your might. Cold from colossal ramparts gleam at their insuperable post the seven princes of the hosts who guard the holy north supreme. Who watch the phalanxes remote that, gathered in opposing skies, far on the southern wastes arise, marshalled by flaming Fomalhaut. Altair, what captains compass thee, what foes, Aldebaran, are thine, red with what blood of wars divine glows that immortal panoply. What music from Capella runs, how hold the Pleiades their bond, how storms the hidden war beyond Orion's dreadful sword of suns. When on what hostile firmament shall stars unnamed contend our gyre, mid councils of Boetus' fire, or night of Vega's fury spent? What tidings of the heavenly fray, these as our sages nightward turn to gaze within the gulfs where burn the helms of that sublime array? Splendors of elemental strife, smit suns that startle back the gloom, new light whose tale of stellar doom fares to uncomprehending life. Profounds of fire whose maelstroms froth to gathered armies of offence, cohorts unweariable, immense, and bulks wherewith the dark is wroth. Reserves and urgencies of light that flame upon the battle's path, and allied suns that brave the wrath of systems leagued athwart the night. Menace of silent ranks that sweep unto irrevocable wars, and onset of titanic cars in Armageddons of the deep. Deem we their enginery was not far in the dim eternal past? Deem we eternity at last will find their thunders unbegot? How haste the unresisting feet of change on life's stupendous orbit set! She walks a way her blood hath wet, yet deems her path untrodden strange. By night's immeasurable dome she deems her hopes in surety held. Lo, from insurgent deeps impelled, the fleeting systems lapse like foam. Unshared she deems the kindred skies, but runic gulf and star proclaim, archival gloom, prophetic flame, the immutable infinities. Vague on the night the mist we mark that tells where met the random suns. In changeless moulds of law it runs to orbs that roam anew the dark, and unto which the worlds are born, where life awakes to know again the light of stars, caress of rain, and winds of the forgotten morn. Lift up, ye everlasting gates, whence fare her feet to wars unknown, to heights august of reason's throne and heritage of ampler fates. When she, the mindless clay no more, in lust's or fear's potential hands, shall range her uncontested lands, or sister world's befriending shore. Till lapse her beatific years in emperies of art untold, the music of her age of gold requiting for unnumbered tears. Till she behold the visual boon surviving elemental risk, the nearing sun's enormous disk, blood red at dusk of sullen noon. Till her appointed course be run, till on the darkness faint her breath, flown to the silent void, and death sit crowned upon the ashen sun. Till sun and sun be met at last, in warfare that annuls the night, when sea and mountain start to light, pyres of the sacrificial past. Dim veils of fire, O world that were the stubborn bastions of thy frame, and reaches of abysmal flame wherein thy spectral oceans stir. A mist upon the vessel's skies, gyrant to Betelgeuse, a flare upon the midnight's round altar, a portent to barbaric eyes. O dread and strong eternity, pricked in an instant of thy clime, the bubble of Antares' time is one with thine unchanging sea. Ever the star, unstable, frames her transitory throne of fire, but in thy sight how soon expire, how soon recur the inviolate flames. Throbs of the fitful sun that are, unto thine amplitude of sight, even as the quick unrest of light that stirs to mortal sense the star. What silence rules the ghostly hours that guard the close of human sleep? Aldebaran crowns the western deep, belted with suns Orion towers. And grieved with light of worlds destroyed, and girt with firmamental gloom, abides his far portended doom, and menace of the warring void. Shall night allay his high unrest? Shall time his destinies aver? Or darkened vastitudes deter his feet from their immortal quest? Shall augury his goal impart, or mind his hidden steps retrace to mausolean pits of space where throbs the Hydra's crimson heart? Ephemeral may life declare what quarry from the lion runs, and sway the inexorable suns where gape the abysses of his lair. O night, what legions serve thy wars? Lo, thy terrific battle line, the rayless bulk, the blazing sign, the leagued infinity of stars. Remote they burn whose dread array glows from the dark a dust of fire, unheard the storm of Rigel's ire, a grain of light Arcturus' day. Unheard their antiphon of death, who gleam Capella's cosmic foes, unseen the war whose causal throes perturb gigantic Algol's breath. Who from afar we meet and name, ere light and life their doom fulfill, spawn of the power whose aeons still the sons of Taurus armed with flame. What sound shall pass the gulfs where groan their sullen axles on the night? What thunder from the strands of light whence Vega glares on worlds unknown? O deep whose very silence stuns, where light is powerless to illume, lost in immensities of gloom that dwarf to motes the flaring suns. O night where time and sorrow cease, eternal magnitude of dark, wherein Aldebaran drifts a spark, and Sirius is hushed to peace. O tides that foam on strands untrod, from seas in everlasting prime, to light where life looks forth on time, and pain, unanswered, questions God. What power, with inclusive sweep, and rigour of compelling bars, shall curb the furies of the stars, and still the troubling of that deep? What will shall calm that wrathful sky? Crave ye tranquillities of light, who stand the sons of war and night? Behold, the abyss hath given reply. Wards of whose realm shall ye avail to loose the tentacles of force that drag Arcturus from his course, and rend the weight of Procyon's mail? Shall yet your feet essay unharmed the glare of cosmic leaguers met, round stellar strongholds gulfward set, with night and fire supremely armed. Shall sun or cycle yet confirm your lordship to the unseated vast, or human period outlast the vigil of Capella's term? Deem ye the eternal might will change the throned infinity of law that never eon altered saw in all the past's eternal range? Child of unrest, but fain for peace, life dreams, in her expectant dark, of final things, and waits to hark conclusive trumpets crying cease. She lifts an alien voice to call to near the nebula, O sun, a little and thy day is done, a little and the night is all. A little and his rays far flown gleam in the dews upon her grave, the storied pomps her epochs gave, a dust within her deserts lone. Yea, so shall life on worlds afar muse idly of a cosmic tomb, where now past Alioth the gloom stirs not with her awaited star. Her fate, how stranger than we deem, though faith behold with trusting eyes a vision of transmuted skies, the splendors of the human dream. To live, though pain and sorrow cease, to reach the high eternal heart, to know infinity, nor part, to find the far ideal, peace. The life of each perfected world, august archangels chanting praise, deep ranked in everlasting ways, with wings of grief and exile furled. O dream not all the worlds fulfill, unblessed, unbidden, save of hope, not for finality the scope and strength of that unaltered will. The eternal night hath writ in stars denial of the ends ye name, ye stand rebuked by suns who claim the consummation of her wars. Constrained to what abysmal pole shall severed armies close their flanks, to stand with deviated ranks subserving to a final goal? Shall Godhead dream a transient thing? Strives he for that which now he lacks? Shall law's dominion melt as wax at touch of hope's irradiant wing? Are these the towers his hands have wrought? Dreams he the dream of end and plan, dear to the finity of man, and shall mutation rule his thought? What powers throng the pregnant gloom? Unseen, the ministers of law reach from eternity to draw the suns to predetermined doom. On law ye serve with kindred might, atom and world that hold her ways, the firefly's mote, the comet's blaze, are equal in her perfect sight. Her bonds compel the vast where boils intensest speaker's sea of fire, her lips decree the hidden gyre of bulks that strain in Algol's toils. Subject to law's resistless word, thy hands, O force, resolve the star, and toil at Alphard's battle car his flaming panoply to gird. Charged, the immeasured gulfs transmit her mandate to the fonts of life, inciting to the governed strife whereby the lethal voids are lit. With augment of imperious tides, on vague illimitable coasts, and battle haze of merging hosts, to which the flare of Vega rides. But nay, ye cry, we trust her hands induce an unconjectured morn, to whose divine fulfilment born her strength irrevocable stands. O lights by which, far taught, we trace the path of life from death to death! O faints of her recurrent breath, and strength of night's annulling mace! Profounds whose silences proclaim what realms of mystery and awe, colossal wraths extolling law from unsubverted thrones of flame! Sons of the lyre, whose thunders rise from chords the eternal hands have smit, stars of the sword a moment lit, ere life rename her altered skies. Without beginning, aim, or end, supreme, incessant, unbegot, the systems change, but goal is not where the infinities attend. Deem ye their armaments confess a source of mutable desire? Think ye he mailed his thought in fire, and called from night and nothingness, and armed for time their high array? Dream ye infinity was bent upon a whim, a drama spent within an instant of his day? Think ye he broke his dream indeed, and rent his deep with fearful powers, that men inherit fadeless bowers? Since he desires, he knows a need. Nay, stable his infinity beyond mutation or desire. The visions pass, the worlds expire, unfathomed still their mystery. So hath he dreamt, so stands his night, wherein the sun's abiding range, dust of the dynasties of change, and altars of eternal light. December 1901. 2. My sleep was like a summer sky that held the music of a lark. I wakened to the voiceless dark and life's more silent mystery. Night with her fleeting hours, how brief, to watch beyond her vault sublime, the gyrant system meeting time, that holds the timelessness of grief. How pure the light their legions shed, how calm above the crumbling tomb of race and epoch past to gloom, no ray can pierce nor mortal tread. What gulfs define the cosmic storm? The torrent of Capella's light, a needle on the nerves of sight, till force annul the bonds of form. Till Alcor vanish from the void, wherein the dragon dares the waste, wherein the spawn of Alioth haste to ghostly bastions long destroyed. O nearer dark, whence man descries abyssal lamps that flare and sink, profounds where stellar glories shrink, or Betelgeuse relumined flies. In gloom as dense, can speaker grope as this that bars the human will, desires as vast her children fill, or kindred mystery and hope? Lo, peaceless ere the veiling day expand where now Arcturus shines, I cry to night's ascendant signs, the timeless questions of the clay. Will life, the bourne eternal crossed, attain the secret of her hours? Will sorrow find atoning powers, and love fare heavenward to her lost? I lift entreating eyes to see gulf beyond gulf till sight relent, sun beyond sun till time repent its question of infinity. Shall voice or vision cross the night from glooms where grope the hands of force on law's inexorable course to being's transitory light? Shall Sirius resolve our fears? Shall Vega's lord command the lyre to scatter from her chords of fire a music on the mortal years? Shall Procyon with flaming tongue declare the doom his strength awaits, or Rigel's light reveal the fates whereto his shadowed worlds have sung? O silence of the changeless dark, whence hope uplifts unwearied eyes! O patience of devouring skies that close on Algol's dying spark! Enhooved with gloom, the age stamps down the palace flare of Babylon. To night the lords of Ur are gone, the tires of time put by the crown. To death the sons of life are thrust, from night to night the nations pace, empire by empire, race by race, the generations pass to dust. Enter, O life, their place of dread, and seek their silence to attain. Shall mystery renounce her reign, or darkness render thee thy dead? Where stirs the energy they knew? Joins it the forces undestroyed that urge the suns within the void, and shake the star in evening's dew? Or sit they girt by laws unknown, whereto the senses serve as bars, with fire of unrecorded stars that light a heaven not our own? The night inevitable waits till fails the insufficient sun, and darkness ends the toil begun by chaos and the morning fades. And starward drifts the stricken world, lone in unalterable gloom, dead, with a universe for tomb, dark, and to vaster darkness whirled. How dread thy reign, O Silence, there! A little, and the deeps are dumb. Lo, thine eternal feet are come where trod the thunders of Altair. O ashen bulks that haunt the vast beyond the ministry of light! O strong entrenchment of the night on charred Antares cold at last! Eternity, thine awful hands shall blot the lion from our skies, and build thy dark for future eyes where now illumed Orion stands. Forever, infinite of range, unceasing whirls the cosmic storm, in changeless gulfs where force and form renew the mystery of change. A fleeting moment, to thy sight, lamp of thine altar Alphard burns, Aldebaran to dusk returns, and Betelgeuse is stone and night. What solitudes of gloom unknown abide, O Sun, thy future ways, ere light at last a sceptre raise, resuming her forsaken throne? When law's compulsive angels sweep the armored sun athwart thy path, when hands resistless wake the wrath that smites to flame the boiling deep. And sprung from what recurrent storm the youthful world exultant wheels, where slow eternity anneals the manacles of time and form. Where dim alchemic powers rebuild to law's immutable designs the primal unapparent shrines with being's basic mystery filled. Fanes of the slowly fostered spark, whose fire shall light the groping clay to reason's sympathetic day and refuge from the bestial dark. Reborn to that selective strife and fury of ascendant wars, what tidings of the immortal shores? What covenant from death, O Life? When in what maze of spatial bound, or cryptic glooms that wall the grave, hast heard the secret which we crave from that inscrutable profound? What surety that thy sons attain the litten counsel of thy lords, and thunder of seraphic chords, to music not of time and pain? What whisper from the world new born recalled thy footsteps to essay the far inevitable way lit sunward from thy mists of morn? Nay, were oblivion's nightward springs so fair to thine enchanted eyes, that now forgot the message lies from mystery's reluctant kings? Nay, are thy lips forever sealed, O thou that stoodst aloof with death, thou that with unrevealing breath hast passed the sword his angels wield? She standeth mute, she cannot say, ah, dumb to love's appealing deep, if death be suzerain of sleep, or Lethe cross the road to day. She cannot say if she, in sooth, abide infinity's concern, though time's unanswered altars burn in question to the final truth. And yet, from unaccording fates, we crave the secret of our tears, with trust in the betraying years, and clamor at relentless gates. And lost within the glooms that fill the night's primordial realm unknown, see mystery on a vaster throne, and truth's far face receding still. Shall yet the fearful answer fare to ancient life supremely wise, by seas that flash on alien eyes the riven sunlight of Altair? Athwart the gulfs of mote and mind, how vast to sense the shadow falls, she gazes from her proven walls, what deeps unfathomable to find. Lo, wearied with the fruitless quest their shores invisible to mark, we turn us to the outer dark, and gleaming suns far manifest. Night, of the dooms to which they sweep, what rumour from the battle's verge, where sun and sun their chariots urge to leaguers of the hostile deep? O space and time, and stars at strife, how dreadful your infinity, shrined by your termless trinity, how strange, how terrible is life! How dark to being's baffled glance the pits of night and nothingness, where manacled in lost duress the allegiant Pleiads advance. Behold, her little sight is drawn by hope's untold immortal ray, debarred she seeks atoning day, beyond her gloom she dreams a dawn. Thy secret, O profound of stars, we born of darkness dare to seek, adjuring Rigel that he speak his tidings of the eternal wars. Capella, past thy lonely light what guardians rule the changeless void? What final Eden undestroyed where seethe the cauldrons of the night? Where on the path of suns far fled Aldebaran goes forth to doom, where unto night's tremendous tomb the worlds of Procyon are led. Ere yet below our skyline dip thy sun-crowned spars to deeps unknown, ere yet our Pharos light be flown, declare thy cosmic port, O ship! Arcturus, from the abysses vast that hush the voices of thy strife, hast heard a whisper unto life, assuring that she rest at last? Crave ye a truce, O suns supreme? What order shall ye deign to hark, enormous shuttles of the dark, that weave the everlasting dream? Shall Sirius light the gulfs untrod, that bar, O life, thy claimant gaze? Shall Betelgeuse attend thy ways, or Alphard guide thy feet to God? Shall lone Antares whisper thee his attestation to thy hope, or Alioth aid the souls that grope within the night's infinity? Dost dream to hold the ghostly heights that soar beyond mutation's reign, or sway the tides of time and pain, Lord of the war Arcturus lights? Wouldst see the crown upon thy brow? Wouldst still the scorpion's heart of fire? Wouldst tread the ark of Rigel's gyre, or greet the god his world's avow? Lo, clasped to his atoning breast, in whom are woe and wrong made just, why this regression to the dust, this loss of certitude and rest? What farce were that in which the soul were summoned to celestial peace, and ere her jubilation cease, dismissed to her ancestral goal? To what emergency concealed abides the realm we seek to share, which to all antecedent prayer eternity hath not revealed? Hath Vega's night diviner shores? Shall Spica with surpassing ray illume her worlds with vaster day than that the nebula outpours? Dim are the laws the sages give, for Science sees in all her lands illusive twilight, in her hands the judgment of the relative. Obscure the glooms that harbor truth, and mute the lips from which we crave the guarded secret of the grave, so soon grown dumb to word and ruth. But ye, O suns, concede the boon to those whose baffled eyes aspire to search your syllables of fire, and read Orion's telic rune. The boon to know that life abides, one with your immortality, one with your changing mystery, and foam of your eternal tides. Exalt, infinity, thy might, nor deem their decrement to mark, spread thou their ashes on the dark, behold, they leap again to light. To light that summons life to wake, and stirred from consummated sleep in matter's unconjectured deep, from mire to mind the pathway take. The pathway traced with blood and tears, and dust of all our fathers dead, whose backward footsteps, wandering, red, fade to the mist of nameless years. How oft, O life on worlds forgot, hast thou in thine unnumbered forms gone forth to time's transmuting storms, and fought till storm and stress were not? How oft hast striven, hoped, and died, and dying, fared to gracious rest, the night's inevitable guest in alien realms unverified. How oft to mystery and time returned their ancient ways to hold, with lips that never yet have told the tidings of that distant clime, with little hands that could not keep the mighty message of the night, nor bear to day's appealing sight the hidden annals of thy sleep. Thus deem the eternity to come the secret will disclose at last, whereunto an eternal past held lips to revelation dumb. How vast the gulfs of man's desire! Children of change, we dream to share the battle vigil of Altair, and watch great Fomalhaut expire. To live where darkened suns relume their kingdoms in the abysmal haze, where nearing night attends the blaze of high Antares red with doom. To hear within the deep of law the word that moves her causal tides, to know what permanence abides beyond the veil the senses draw. And such the hope that fills thy heart, O life on some allegioned world, round Procyon's throne of thunder whirled, or poised in Spica's gulf apart. So dreamt thy sons on worlds destroyed, whose dust allures our careless eyes, as, lit at last on alien skies, the meteor melts athwart the void. So shall thy seed on worlds to be, at altars built to suns afar, crave from the silence of the star solution of thy mystery, and crave unanswered, till denied by cosmic gloom and stellar glare, the brains are dust that bore the prayer, and dust the yearning lips that cried. February 1902. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.